David diligently packed a suitcase, methodically placing each item with care. He scanned his surroundings, his eyes darting from one corner of the room to another, ensuring he hadn't overlooked any of his belongings. His fingers sifted through the contents of a sturdy briefcase, verifying that all of his important documents were safely tucked inside. Upon being certain that he had everything in order, David decided to make a call. He picked up his phone and dialed his mother's number. "Mom," he began, tone of his voice holding a hint of excitement, "I have booked my flight. It's scheduled for 7 p.m. tonight." His mother's voice echoed through the phone, full of warmth and concern. "How are you holding up, son?" she inquired. "Everything's falling into place perfectly," he responded, sounding more surprised than he had intended. "Honestly, I didn't anticipate things turning out this well." "That's fantastic news," his mother replied, her voice brightening with pride. "You now have the skills to manage any of our family restaurants." Although her voice faltered a little, she continued, "I still can't grasp why you were so bothered by that birthmark." David's laughter filled the silence that followed. "Well, Mom," he began, a playful grin tugging at the corner of his lips, "I know to you I'm the most handsome man, birthmark or no birthmark." His mother chuckled, a warm, pleasant sound. All right, I'll drop it," she relented. "I'll always respect your choices. Just know we're all eagerly waiting for your arrival here." David's heart swelled at her words. "I'm just as excited to see all of you, Mom. I miss your home-cooked meals." His voice held a tinge of nostalgia, bringing forth memories of familiar flavors and warmth. After ending the call, David set the phone down, a nostalgic smile gracing his face. It had been a full year since he last set foot in his beloved hometown. A yearning for home had nestled itself deep in his heart, growing stronger with each passing day. Truth be told, leaving home was the last thing he desired, yet he knew the family business needed him. He understood that expanding and strengthening their restaurant empire required his personal involvement and dedication. David knew that without infusing new life into their venerable family restaurant, the rapidly evolving trends in the industry, coupled with advanced technologies and innovative marketing strategies, could easily engulf it. He understood that stagnation was a luxury they could not afford, not when the world of culinary businesses was racing forward at such a breakneck pace. While David's concerns might have been somewhat overstated, their family-owned restaurants were, after all, quite profitable. His ambitions extended beyond merely maintaining the status quo. David craved something unique, something distinctive. He aspired to create something within their restaurant business that was unparalleled, something truly one of a kind that nobody else could lay claim to. A year prior, the family council had reached the consensus that David would venture abroad to deepen his understanding of the restaurant business. But his journey overseas was not solely driven by business aspirations. It was also fueled by a deeply personal motive, the urgent need to address his noticeable birthmark, which had been gradually creeping down from his forehead dangerously close to his eye. This compelling urge to seek medical help abroad added an unexpected dimension to his forthcoming journey. The birthmark had just begun to encroach upon his upper eyelid, yet its presence had a profound impact on David's self-esteem. Despite its relatively innocuous nature, he found himself feeling increasingly self-conscious about it. His father bore an identical birthmark, though it was slightly smaller and less conspicuous. Over time, family members and friends had grown accustomed to it, barely registering its existence. It had become just another feature, unremarkable and rarely a subject of conversation. David might have grown accustomed to his birthmark over time, as his father did, yet he was impatient. He yearned to blend in, to look normal as per societal standards. He wished to be free of his distinctive mark, to present a face untouched by nature's unusual paintbrush. Everything was planned with the surgeon, and on the day when David was supposed to undergo surgery removing his birthmark, the doctor suddenly announced that he had a feeling David should keep it. "I don't know, David. I just have a weird feeling that we shouldn't touch it." Stepping off the airport shuttle, David finally arrived at his terrace family home. Even though only a year had passed since he last left, he felt an overwhelming sense of nostalgia. His heart brimmed with longing as he strolled through the familiar corridors of his childhood home. Every corner of the house was laden with memories, every object stirring up echoes of his past. Later, they gathered in the warm comfort of their living room, nestled amongst familiar furniture and family photographs. David began to share his experiences from his time and career, tales filled with new learning adventures and personal growth. Each anecdote he shared was a testament to the multitude of lessons he had gleaned from his overseas journey. David's father, Ben, was impressed by the insights. He knew David had done a good job and not just wasted his time partying or doing something else. The family discussion veered towards David's impending role in the family business. A question hung in the air. "So, where do you want to start? Which restaurant would you like to manage?" David responded with a smile, taking a brief pause to compose his thoughts. "Dad, I believe I still have much to learn, so I've been considering starting from the ground up. And I'd prefer if my true identity remained a secret to the staff." His father, Ben, raised an eyebrow at his unusual request, a smirk dancing on his lips. He was surprised yet visibly proud of his son's humility and desire to truly understand the business, struggling to keep his pride from showing too much. Then he replied, "Really? Well, that's an intriguing decision. I suppose it does make sense. It'll certainly provide you with a unique perspective." After a moment's thought, Ben offered a proposition. "I think we can address two issues at once. The team at Pine Tree Restaurant is relatively new. I've had to replace almost everyone. We've been facing some challenges there, so perhaps that would be a good place for you to start." Pondering further, Ben continued, "I think we can address two issues at once. The team at Pine Tree Restaurant is relatively new. I've had to replace almost everyone. We've been facing some challenges there, so perhaps that would be a good place for you to start." David nodded thoughtfully, considering his father's proposition. "That sounds like a plan, Dad," he replied with determination. "I'll start at Pine Tree Restaurant and work my way up from there. It'll give me a chance to understand the dynamics of the team and the challenges we're facing firsthand." Ben smiled, pleased with David's decision. "Excellent choice, son. I'm confident you'll do great things there." As David settled into his new role at Pine Tree Restaurant, he immersed himself fully in the day-to-day operations. From managing staff schedules to overseeing inventory and interacting with customers, he delved deep into every aspect of the restaurant business. He made it a point to listen to his employees, valuing their insights and experiences. Over time, David's efforts began to yield results. The restaurant saw an uptick in customer satisfaction, and morale among the staff improved significantly. David's leadership style, characterized by empathy and a hands-on approach, resonated with the team. As months passed, David's birthmark became less of a concern to him. He realized that his value as a leader and a businessman far outweighed any physical imperfections. His journey abroad had taught him valuable lessons, not only about the restaurant industry, but also about self-acceptance and confidence. With each passing day, David grew more confident in his abilities to lead and innovate. He implemented new strategies to attract customers, embracing technology and social media to enhance the restaurant's visibility. His vision for Pine Tree Restaurant began to take shape as he introduced unique menu offerings and themed events that set the establishment apart from its competitors. As David's successes at Pine Tree Restaurant continued to unfold, word spread within the family business. His innovative approach and dedication to excellence garnered admiration and respect from his relatives and colleagues alike. Soon, David found himself being entrusted with more significant responsibilities within the family's restaurant empire. With his newfound confidence and expertise, David embarked on a journey to revitalize and expand the family's restaurants. Armed with a deep understanding of the industry and a passion for innovation, he set out to establish a legacy that would endure for generations to come. As he looked back on his journey, David couldn't help but feel grateful for the opportunities and challenges that had shaped him into the leader he had become. With determination and perseverance, he knew that the future held limitless possibilities for himself and the family business. And so, with unwavering resolve and a renewed sense of purpose, David continued to chart a course toward success, guided by his dreams and fueled by his unwavering commitment to excellence.